Good morning, everybody. Or afternoon, evening, wherever you are. I don't know where you are right now, what time of day it is. I just had a very interesting evening. So last night was November 15th. It was the blue supermoon. By the way, it was super awesome. I had a really good night. But the reason why I'm on here is because I realized that I had been avoiding a certain message. So we all have gifts, okay? And I'm learning, it's hard for me, this is actually, here, I'm gonna get out of my comfort zone. It's actually hard for me to openly acknowledge my gifts because they are definitely more on the magical, esoteric, spiritual side, but they're also extremely powerful in a lot of ways. Like, some people talk about having clairvoyance or intuition. I seem to be able to see and feel things in like so many steps ahead. And sometimes it's even before I'm even really aware of what it is. And even as a little kid, this is something that I've always been able to do. Now, it makes more sense to me now because as you connect to your higher self and you make more deeper connections with your other selves and other realities and the different goddess energies and god energies. By the way, I didn't realize that there's a possibility of being alive in what some people call the underworld for years, even though you're not. Anyways, different story. It's totally a different story. But anyways, sorry, we'll get back to that one another day. But yeah, so I've been having a hard time acknowledging my gifts because I think I didn't want them to be as powerful and truthful as they were. Because the message I was getting was something I didn't really want to hear. And I kept avoiding it. Unfortunately, that's not how it works. So the more I avoided the message, the more persistent it just got. Until finally I had to acknowledge what was really happening and just accept the feelings that came with that. And it's okay to know that what you're manifesting is still going to happen, even if it's not happening the way you want, and to still feel the discomfort, the pain, the fear that comes with knowing that there's things that you desire and want that maybe aren't going to happen the way you want them to, right? They could happen differently. And so when I finally acknowledged the message I was avoiding, I had to face the feeling that came after acknowledging that message. And it was another way or another lesson for me to realize how amazing it is to have that connection with my higher self. It was really just honestly like a trust thing, because as soon as I acknowledged the message, I let myself feel the pain because it came with great fucking pain. I realized that I needed it because what it was again, I was told that I had been not chosen. I'd been someone's second choice. I'd been, whether it's friendships, whether it's love, whether it's family, it doesn't matter who or what the situation is. When you are not the person's first pick, that you would have picked them first, that fucking hurts, right? So it doesn't really matter the situation or who it is or what kind of the relationship is. I mean, it can even hurt when it's a puppy and the puppy picks the person beside you instead of you. Rejection is rejection. And the human meaty flesh sacks have a really hard time with rejection. But it just, again, I have to go back to this whole mirror thing, right? So people talk about twin flames mirroring each other, but I really like how Bashar explains that, how basically everybody in your reality, everyone that you are interacting with in your current reality, are mirroring the reflections of you and how you treat yourself and the way you talk to yourself. So what it showed me was that I still wasn't choosing me. I wasn't choosing me. And that was the biggest lesson for me, was not to be afraid of my gifts, because yes, they can be kind of crazy, intuitively, wickedly on point and scary. Like cognitive clairvoyance and like psychic, I don't even know how to explain it. It's like, just keep in mind, I'm not someone you should lie to or play games with, because I probably know what you don't want me to know even before you have an idea what you're doing. But anyways, so yeah, I finally accepted the message. I felt the pain. I embraced the pain, and it made me realize that I still wasn't picking me. So I made myself a little promise, not a promise. I made myself a pact last night that from now on I pick me before anybody else. I don't care if it's my twin flame or my soulmate, or if it's even, my kids. To a point, I have to put their needs first, but I can still pick me in the end. Because as long as it's not out of selfishness, as long as it's not out of greed, as long as it's not out of some kind of negative energy like spite, whatever, all those things that would actually come from you not picking yourself, those emotions, those negative emotions, right? That is not fair, I deserve this, I worked hard for this, why can't things just be easy now? Blah, 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 blah. Well, they can. They really can. But you're not picking you by doing that. You're picking the easy road by doing that. And it's not going to help you grow. It's not going to help you develop who you really are. And you're basically telling yourself that you're not worthy of your gifts. Because if you don't start picking yourself, if you don't start putting yourself first and treating yourself the way you wish everyone else had treated you in any relationship, your gifts are not going to bloom to their fullest ability. So this is my message for today. I don't care who it is in your life. If you feel like they're not picking you, it's because you need to start picking yourself. Always. You don't need someone to take you on a date and make you feel beautiful and wanted and desired. You can do that for yourself. I can prove it. You don't need someone to tell you how amazing you are and how capable you are, because you can do that for yourself. At first, it's not going to feel comfortable. It's going to feel weird. And maybe you won't even believe it, okay? And that's why going down the path of raising your vibration and elevating your connections with yourself, your higher self, and your highest purpose is going to be really essential for you to learn how to love yourself. And it's also cool because the more you love yourself, the more your natural gifts are going to start coming about, and the more you realize how amazing your gifts are. It's like just, another reminder about how amazing you are and how worthy you are of love. And that is magical, because that will give you the power to even say to somebody that you've maybe desperately wanted to be with your whole life, it give you the power to look at them and say, you know what? No, you made your choices. Your energy is reciprocal. It's coming back to you. That's your karma. That's your stuff. I'm not going to be a part of that. You can deal with that on your own right now. I'm going to go love myself the way I've always deserved to be loved. And maybe when, you grow up or you change or you've had some time to heal and grow, you can come and prove to me that you're different. Because I always tell this to my kids, words are just words until your actions are visible. So when my kids say, I'm sorry, I'm going to do better, I'm like, I appreciate the sentiment, but I need to see it. So let's see the change. If you're truly sorry, your behavior will change. And this is when you have to say sorry to yourself and change your behavior, right? So in the past, if you made choices that were easy, that were comfortable, that just made it easier for you to not have to worry about what you were missing out on because you're afraid you were never going to get it in the first place, you have to stop that. Because once you start picking yourself, once you start acknowledging how amazing you really are, while people are out there doing those things, doing their thing, not picking themselves, you're going to be following your passion, following the excitement, picking yourself, and learning that your pain is your power and fear the tool to harness it. And I had to learn that again last night, to embrace my fear and use it as a tool to harness the pain so I could grow. But I did it. And if I can do it, so can you. So do me a favor. Love yourself the way you've always wanted to be loved. Forget everybody else.